The Toronto Blue Jays have been named finalists for Shohei Ohtani. Now, Shohei and his camp have remained tight-lipped about the entire situation. They haven't revealed any information, but insiders around Major League Baseball believe that it's a two-team race between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. So we'll break that down on this episode of Jays Digest, as well as Juan Soto. If the Jays strike out on Shohei Ohtani, they're definitely going to be trying to swing a trade for the 25-year-old superstar hitter. So we'll have that and much more coming up next. Ace fans, I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Koss. Now, before we get into anything in this video, I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for 10,000 subscribers. Never thought we would get to this milestone. It's not because the content isn't good or we haven't been putting in the work. I just never in my wildest imagination could I have thought that 10,000 people would want to listen to what Nick and I have to say day in, day out. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. We really appreciate each and every one of you. And we got a lot of news to discuss, Nick, on the Shohei Ohtani front, on the Juan Soto front. I mean, we know that the Padres are trying to cut payroll. The Blue Jays want to do something big. So even if it isn't Shohei, even if it isn't what we've all been wanting these past couple of weeks, the Jays are still in the market to do something big, and I don't think we should be disappointed with Juan Soto either.
Yeah, some major reports. We have a lot coming at you today. And again, thank you for 10,000 subscribers. And make sure to hit the subscribe button again. We're on the road now to 15,000. But let's get right into the first chapter and the first topic of the day, which is the Jays name officially finalist for Shohei Ohtani. Now, we've had some reports here and there, if you want to recall them, reports saying the Jays are very, very interested. And yesterday, if you checked out our live stream, shout out to Mo as well for the support in that live stream. But there was tons of rumors going down yesterday regarding the Toronto Blue Jays. Crazy stuff, all these different kind of reporters. And today, Peter, we finally had the first bomb from Jeff Passan. Now, he named the Jays as a suitor a couple weeks ago or a week ago, and this just dropped today. So the Ohtani extravaganza is barreling towards the finish line, and when he finally agrees to a deal, it's going to surge well beyond $500 million. Another executive said the bidding war could reach $600 million. Here were the Jays named. Given that, it would be foolish to count out any high revenue team. The Rangers, Red Sox, and New York Mets were among initial group of suitors, but they have dropped out. Among those confirmed to still be in, the Dodgers, Cubs, Blue Jays, and the Giants as well. Peter, well, the Giants are kind of iffy, but definitely the three. So, Peter, what are your thoughts on this? This is wild. The Jays are one of the three final teams, so all these reporters that aren't fully reporters have been correct. The Jays are absolutely in it, and it's going to surge well across $500 million. And honestly, I think that helps the Jays.
Yeah, I think so too, because they're capable of outbidding any other team around Major League Baseball. They have the money to do that. Now, I don't think they're going to be hesitant in doing that either, because they don't mind expanding the payroll when it comes to a player of this caliber. And it's just a smart business decision. Even if he can't pitch the next season, he's still going to be in the news every day. He's still going to drive up your viewership significantly. And when the Angels played at the Rogers Center with Shohei Ohtani in the lineup, the average attendance was 42,000. That's a sellout crowd. That's a sellout crowd, and I expect to sell out each and every game that Shohei is in the lineup. Even on a random Monday night, you're going to have a lot of young people, a lot of people that are buying into the frenzy of Shohei Ohtani that want to be in the building and that want to experience this generational megastar just going at it and swinging the bat, DHing, whatever he does. It's going to draw oohs and ahs from the crowd, and he's that type of player. And I think Rogers is really realizing that fact, and they're going all in on their pursuit for Shohei Ohtani, and they should. I mean, he's the one piece that could transform the outlook of this roster, the outlook of this franchise as a whole, and it's got to happen. Now, if it doesn't happen, there are other options on the table that would make the Blue Jays significantly better heading into next season, but the big fish, and the one that everyone is talking about, is Shohei Ohtani. And for the Blue Jays to even be finalists, to even be in the running, just shows how serious they are about winning and how serious they are about improving this roster heading into next season. And if they don't get him, I don't think they're going to stop their pursuit of that. I think they're going to try to make this roster much better than it already is. But it's just so exciting that the Jays are in the mix, and so exciting that they're finalists. Still give the edge to the Dodgers here, but I want it to happen, and I've never believed more than I've believed right now.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the current state of my off season for the Toronto Blue Jays, which is it seems like euphoria that the Blue Jays are even in this conversation. Now, this just dropped after the Jeff Passan thing. Ben Nicholson-Smith saying the next few days seen as critical for Shohei Ohtani, while team executives, like you said in the intro, Peter, are quiet out of respect for Ohtani. Industry sources say negotiations are entering the final stretch with a small group of teams expected to meet Ohtani and his reps this weekend. Those group of teams, as noted here by Passan, are looking to be the Cubs, the Jays, and the Dodgers. Now, Peter, it's time. Reports have now surfaced today from two people, both reputable, Ben Nicholson-Smith, Jeff Passan. I think a decision will be made by the end of this weekend, if not very early next week. The winter meetings are starting soon, but it seems like his decision is coming soon. And, you said it yesterday. Rumblings are really starting to pick up now. The Jays are among final teams, and even if we do strike out on Shohei Ohtani, which I'm really hoping they don't, it seems inevitable at this point that we get one of the big fish. And we'll get into another big fish here in a second, but any quick final thoughts on the reports now starting to come out that the talks are in the final stages, or at least the negotiations are starting to pick up and should be resolved here over the next week or so?
There's a lot invested in this team, Nick. There's a lot invested in the renovations, in this current core of players. But I think front office realizes that maybe this group of guys is not good enough on its own to
I agree.
take the Blue Jays to where they want to be, and that's as a World Series champion. That's as a title contender. And right now, the Blue Jays aren't that, but I do expect them to make the moves in order to vault themselves into that conversation. And they have to. I mean, there's too much invested in this team for them to field the same roster and then sell it back to the fan base as a competitive team because they underperformed heavily last year. A lot of guys just weren't where they needed to be personally in their performance, but they still won 89 games. They were still one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. So if I'm a free agent, if I'm a star free agent, I'm looking at that and saying, look, I'm going to come in here. I'm going to be the guy. If this team won 89 games and they're lacking a true superstar, then I can bring them over that hump. I can vault them into that 100-win season that they've been looking for. And I think Shohei Ohtani has the capability to do that. I mean, just look at his wins above replacement. He's a 9, 10, sometimes an even 11 win player. So it's no coincidence. If you add 11 wins to 89 wins, that equals 100. I'm no math guy, but that's pretty simple right there. And Shohei Ohtani has that kind of capability as a player. Just someone that commands so much attention in a lineup, he would make everyone around him better. So if the Jays do manage to land him, I still give the edge to the Dodgers, unfortunately. But if they do manage to land him, I don't think they're going to stop there. I think they're going to go all in. They're going to try to make more moves and make this team an absolute juggernaut, someone that you can't take your eyes off of. And that's what the Blue Jays are trying to be right here. They're big boy spenders. They're big boy spenders. They've made that clear. They have the money to do it. Whether they do it or not remains to be seen, but the fact that they're in this conversation this late into the negotiation stage, it's just so encouraging, Nick, and never thought I'd see the day, but it's real. It's here.
And hopefully it happens. And he also mentioned in the article you just said, Dodgers are seen as the favorite still, but the Jays are making a very, very strong push towards the end. And speaking of putting us over the top, could a potential blockbuster Juan Soto trade be incoming, whether that's from the Jays or even from other teams like the rival Yankees? Report came out from Hector Gomez saying, I'm hearing the Yankees, Giants, Mets, Cubs, and Jays are showing interest in Juan Soto. And if you're not super sold on Hector Gomez, Ben Nicholson-Smith also put this in his article that it appears likely the Blue Jays will consider a trade for Juan Soto, with Atkins saying he's absolutely open to acquiring a rental player. He said that in his press conference about a week ago. So, Peter, just a quick discussion here. We haven't touched on Juan Soto yet in a video, so I wanted to drag it in here before the Ohtani stuff gets too out of hand. I would not mind a Juan Soto trade. It is reported that he would not be extending with any team that he trades or gets traded to, so it would strictly be a one-year rental, especially if he's traded to the Yankees, apparently, and the other team is most likely to get him. What would you be willing to give up? We discussed it in our live stream a bit yesterday, but I'm all in on Juan Soto, maybe even alongside Ohtani if you want to get really crazy.
I'd give up anybody except for Ricky Tiedemann, and the Alek Manoah included. I think you can give him up in a trade. I mean, he's a generational hitter, and we've all been talking about Ohtani. Juan Soto has been getting lost in the shuffle here, but he's no slouch. He's a top 5 hitter in the game today, and he's only 25 years old. So someone that would slide into the middle of that lineup, and if you don't get Ohtani, not a bad backup plan to fall back on either when it comes to Juan Soto. He was touted as the next Ted Williams when he was 19 years old because of his plate discipline, because of his sweet left-handed swing, and he's still got that ability. I mean, he had an amazing year last year after a down 2022. He just looks like a superstar, and he is a superstar, and he's he's a guy that could put the Blue Jays over the top as well. So even if they don't get Shohei Ohtani, I mean, landing a trade or swinging a trade for Juan Soto, that's just as good in my opinion. At least for next year, when we look at the two, it's just as hitters. I think Juan Soto is in that conversation with Shohei Ohtani when it comes to the best left-handed hitters in Major League Baseball. So anybody except for Ricky Tiedemann, give up Elvis Martinez in a heartbeat, Alek Manoah in a heartbeat, because this type of talent doesn't come around too often on the trade market, and he's someone that could definitely help the Jays in their pursuit of a world championship, and I'd be open to doing that. Anybody but Ricky Tiedemann.
And they've shown a willingness to spend lots of money, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make a big push to extend him. And he'll command a lot of money as well. Maybe not 500 or 600 million, but 300 to 400 is definitely likely for him. But that'll wrap up the video. We're all just waiting for this move to happen, because after that, I think the Jays are going to make some big moves either way, so that's exciting. But all eyes are on Shohei Ohtani, and I suspect, Peter, we will have a video about Ohtani one way or another coming out in the next 7 or so days. So that'll wrap up the video. Let us know in the comment section below what your thoughts are. If you want to check out our video from yesterday, click on your screen now, and we'll see you either tomorrow for the video or later today for our live stream.